everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new tutorial featuring some die cutting and the new Simon Says Stamp Sending Sunshine release. I'm going to be making this card here that features a really fun collection of different dies that are from the new Sending Sunshine collection that Simon just released. What you're seeing me do right now is create a variation to the background that I ended up using on the card. Originally I was planning on using this one, which I had done with some watercolors and the Mermaid texture brushes from Davenport. However, I ended up changing my mind a little bit and I didn't decide to go with this background, but rather a blue and green toned background with a little bit of yellow. This more rainbow looking background really was fun, and it was created in the exact same style as the background that I ended up using on my card. However, I wanted the flowers to be more front and center, not the background. So I saved this background for another card, but I made the other background in the exact same way. And that's this one here. So I cut down that background using a Simon Says Stamp wonky rectangle die. And I also cut 6 of the beautiful flower cluster dies from some Strathmore Bristol paper. I'm using the Bristol paper because I want to be able to have a slightly thicker flower cluster, and also I like how this paper is able to handle a lot of Copic coloring because I'm going to be just grabbing some different markers. I really wasn't paying attention to the colors. I was just really going for different variations of tones that I really liked and blending them together. And because they don't necessarily blend together that well, I'm heavily saturating this paper with color. But that's allowing those colors to blend, where normally on regular paper where you're trying to color in a stamped image, you may not necessarily blend with these different markers that I ended up using. However, when you're doing die cuts, you don't have to worry about it bleeding outside the lines, and the thicker paper can handle all that coloring. So I'm just having fun and picking out colors. So I don't have the color combinations I used for these flowers, so just find colors that you really like. And if you want to recreate this card, just pick out colors that really speak to you and that really grab your attention, because that's exactly what I did here. And I colored them basically in red, pink, yellow, and blue tones with then green leaves. So once I colored all of these flowers, I also colored in the stems with some brown. This is where I'm going to go ahead and start taking these little clusters of flowers and stacking them together using the rest of the white die cuts that I had left over that I didn't color. I only ended up coloring 2 of the 6 that I ended up cutting out with the Strathmore Bristol paper. Now I sprayed them with spray adhesive, so that way it's easy for me to just go ahead and get some adhesive on those intricate die cuts and then stack them all together. You could use a liquid adhesive if you prefer, or if you have full sheets of sticky adhesive, or any other type of spray adhesive that you might have. Whatever works for you, I'm just grabbing a spray adhesive that I had on hand. But I stacked 3 die cuts for each cluster together, and then I had these really cute clusters that I can use with this summertime die, which is also from the new Sending Sunshine collection. So my flowers I'm planning on having along the top and the bottom in the corner, creating these really nice little framed areas. I just put some dots of liquid glue in certain areas around the clusters. I wasn't really trying to cover the entire piece with adhesive because I know that liquid glue will hold everything together. So once I've attached the floral clusters down, then I'm going to work on adding my summertime sentiment panel on top of that using double-sided foam tape. And I used 2 layers thick, so it has a little bit of lift off of the flowers in the background because those, of course, are dimensional with the layers that we had adhered together. Now they are hanging off a little bit off of my card, so I'll just trim off any areas that might be coming off of the sides, so that way everything fits inside of an A2 envelope. I finished up the sentiment on this card by using the 4 Seasons stamp set. There are dies that coordinate with this, but I'm going to just use one of the sentiments, which says, I completely heart or love summertime. I really like this card because it can be used for pretty much at any point during the summertime. So I'll white heat emboss that onto some GUAVA cardstock from Fawn, and then I trimmed it down into a little label, and I embellished the card using some of the new fittingly named Hello Summer sequins. And a fun fact about all of the sequins that are released in the Sending Sunshine release, I helped pick out all of the colors that are in each of these sequin mixes. So I hope you have fun creating with them because Samantha and we were really having fun pulling these together and creating some really bright and happy summertime themed mixes for you to use on all of your upcoming summertime projects. So I hope that this card in particular has inspired you to try out some of the new dies from Simon's Sending Sunshine release. And I hope that some of the techniques that I used within this card were inspiring as well. If you enjoyed this video, here are 2 more that you might like featuring some more fun techniques. And if you stop by tomorrow, I will be part of the Simon Sending Sunshine blog hop. It's a 2-day hop, so you'll be able to see more inspiration using this fun release. Thanks so much for stopping by. I will be back again very soon with more inspiration for you. But until then, have a great day. Bye!